I'm trying really hard to not be upset with you, Dad, but at the same time, what do you expect for me to say? Hi everyone, it's Catchy, aka OBiGem. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Also, the notification bell to be notified of all future videos. And if you like what you see, please do hit the like button so I know to keep making content like this. So we're back with another episode of Not So Berry, and we are here with Zari. We have a lot to kind of cover this episode, but first things first, if you remember the end of last episode for Nicole's birthday party, Solara kind of ran off relatively quickly, and it kind of got Zari confused. He was thinking, we just became a couple. I thought she might spend the night, and she kind of took off and didn't even really say goodbye. So he's been hitting her up, trying to figure out what happened there, and she's kind of been giving him the slip. So, a friend of his called him and said, hey, the romance festival's in town in San Myshuno. I'm coming out there with a couple friends you want to come with. So he kind of saw that as an opportunity to be like, you know what? I need to talk with Solara to see if we're still good. So let me try and invite her to this thing. So Solara reluctantly said yes because, Zari was really persistent and saying, come on, please, we're officially a couple. I kind of want us to go out on a date together. Can we please? So she's like, okay, I guess I can hang out with you at the romance festival. So he's really excited and he's wanting to just kind of make sure that they're still good. He's kind of nervous that she is getting cold feet about their relationship. And he's like, I hope I didn't do anything to kind of ruin it. But, I hope she still likes me. Meanwhile, Solara is dealing with something. She has something that she needs to tell Zari, and she's afraid of how he's going to take it. She's thinking that once she tells him that he won't want to be with her anymore. So they're kind of both scared about something that they probably shouldn't be scared about, but we're going to let them talk. First things first, I'm going to have them go and get some of that soccer tea together. Zari, I believe, is starving, so this might actually help to quench his thirst. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and pour the tea together. I don't know the difference between these two or all of these. I don't know. We're gonna pour it together. Here we go. So here they are pouring some soccer tea together. This is actually Zari's friend. I believe they met in college. This is Tamati Missipika. Okay. That's clearly that might be wrong. I'm trying. But anyway, I believe they met in college. She's an old college friend. I thought we would never be seeing any of these college people ever again, but hey, I guess they still have his number. So I'm gonna pour the soccer tea together. Zari is just wanting to be in a romantic mood with, Solara, so that is what they're gonna do. So they're pouring it, and he's like, wow, this soccer tea is really delicious, don't you think, Solara? And she's like, yeah, I mean, I guess. And he's already noticing that she's, acting kind of distant towards him. And he's already getting nervous about it. He's all like, I think that I might have done something and she doesn't like me anymore. Maybe it's because I put on, a little bit of weight. Since we originally met, maybe she doesn't find me as attractive anymore. He's getting really self-conscious about it now. And he's like, I don't think she wants to be with me anymore. So he's going to go ahead and see if he can go and sit with Solara somewhere and talk with her, because he's kind of just really scared that maybe she's disinterested and doesn't want to be with him anymore. Meanwhile, Solara's over here texting her friends from the trailer park because they're worried about her because they know that she's been going through it. So, she's texting with them and they're like, look, you just need to tell him, stop, being afraid and scared about this. Just, get it out on the table. He doesn't want to be with you after he knows. Then, at least you're ending it now before you've gotten in too deep. And she's kind of upset and scared about it because she really likes Zari and she doesn't want their relationship to be over. But I'm going to find a place for them to sit and talk. So they're both pretty nervous, but Zari's like, you know what? I don't want to pussyfoot around about this. I'm just going to go ahead and break the ice. So he's going to go ahead and start in. He says, Solara, when you were at my son's birthday party last night, we made things official. I made you my girlfriend. And I was really happy about that. But I did notice that, as soon as we made things official, you kind of, left really fast. And she's like, yeah, Zari, it wasn't anything to do with you, I promise. It's just, something came up and I had to go. I'm so sorry I didn't say goodbye to you. And he's like, no, I mean, it's okay. I don't know. It just seems like ever since I actually be my girlfriend, things haven't really been quite the same between me and you. Been texting you and calling you, and you haven't really been as responsive. And I'm just kind of wondering, I mean, do you still like what's going on between us? Do you still like me? And, Solaris says, Zari, of course I still like you. And he's like, well, I mean, why haven't you been, talking with me then? Why have you been kind of giving me the slip? And so Zolaira's like, look, Zari, it's like I mentioned, it doesn't have anything to do with you, I promise. It's just, there's something I need to tell you. So Zari's very, very confused now. He's like, I mean, what do you have to tell me? You can tell me anything, right? You don't have to be scared. Just tell me what's going on with you. What do you need to say? So Solara tells him, this is really hard to say because I feel like once I tell you, you're not going to really look at me the same way anymore. But the reason why I left so quickly yesterday was because there was something about me that was going to really give away who I really am. And Zari is, again, very, very confused. He's like, Solara, I don't understand what you mean who you really are. And so Solara tells him, Zari, the truth is, yesterday when you asked me to be your girlfriend, I guess I got, really flirty and blushy, and it made something about me really apparent. When I have really strong emotions, the way that my body reacts is I give off, a fluorescent glow depending on what the emotion is. And that happens because I'm an alien. So Zari is kind of in shock because he's all like, wow, I moved to Strangerville so I could be closer to the alien population, have friends with them, learn more about them, and hopefully figure out a way to kind of visit their world and, maybe feel more at home there. And who knew the entire time I've been interacting with the alien this entire time. So Zari's like, I mean, Solara, wow, that's actually really amazing. You're an alien? And she's like, you're not afraid of the fact that I'm an alien? And Zari says to her, Solara, of course not. Like, that's been part of my whole mission since I, left home and moved to Strangerville to, meet different people, and particularly aliens. Like, of course, that's not something that would ever put me off. Like, I'm so surprised that she thought that that would be something that would make me not like you anymore. She's like, well, this world of yours is strange. I've met different people out this way where the second that they know that you're different, they don't want to have anything to do with you. And Zari's like, well, Solara, that's not me. Like, I wish you would have told me sooner that you were an alien. It probably would have made me warm to you even quicker, knowing that you're an alien. I mean, that just makes me like you more. And Solara's like, wow, Zari, like, I'm just so surprised. I guess I was worried for no reason at all. And Zari's like, of course, Solara, I like you, like, a lot. There's not anything you could say or do that would make me not want to spend time with you or get to know you or be around you. She's like, well, Zari, you're so sweet. So, that is one load off of Solaris' shoulder, that Zari knows that she's an alien and he doesn't, feel anything differently about her, or anything he feels, more strongly about her, which is so amazing. So Zari's like, Solara, I'm so glad that we're open with each other and that you still like me. I just wanted to let you know that, I would you be interested in coming over tomorrow to my place for Springfest dinner? And so Solara says to him, she's like, Springfest, what's that? And he's like, well, I guess, it's a custom here, on Earth here. So I guess maybe it might be your first Springfest. And she's like, yeah, I've never heard of it. And he's like, well, you should come. If you want, you can even invite the rest of the trailer park girls there. And so Solara's like, sure, I guess that would be cool. I could do that. And he's like, great, my dad's gonna be there, and my son Nickel, and his mom, and Maria, or his mom, Arlene, she actually has, the holiday off, so she, is taking a flight in to spend the holiday with, Nickel and spend some time with him. But don't worry, it's like I said before at Nickel's party, Arlene and I are just co-parenting. We're not together. And so she's like, I know, Zari, I trust you. He's all like, good. you know, is it okay if I kiss you? And Solara is like, Zari, you don't have to ask. You can just go ahead and do it. And he's like, well, again, I really just like you, and I just want to make sure that, you know, this goes right. You know, I haven't had a whole lot of experience and positive relationships, and I want this to be right. She's like, well, you know, as far as I'm concerned, Zari, you are doing things right. And so things have been going on swimmingly between the two of them, which is amazing. I'm gonna go ahead and have Zari go ahead and kiss Solara, which is just gonna fulfill this event. And I'm probably gonna have him go home because what happened, or what's happening tomorrow, is that where is the kissing direct? There we go. What's happening tomorrow is that Andre, ahead of Springfest, said, "Hey, bud, I was thinking Yumi and Nickel can go out to the Aerospace Museum in Oasis Springs. I know you really like space. I thought you would like this." Oh, look at them. So sweet. So cute. But he's all, let's take a screenshot. But anyway, he's all like, I know you really like space. And so I thought, you know, they opened that new Aerospace Museum in Oasis Springs. Would you want to go with, you know, the kiddo? And he's like, sure. He's like, great, because, you know, there's actually something I need to talk to you about ahead of Springfest. So I'm thinking that'll be a good place for us to kind of hash that out. And so Zari's like, okay, Dad, sure, why not? He's curious about what it is because he mentioned it during Nickel's birthday party that he had something he wanted to talk about. But he's kind of had other things on his mind. Obviously, making sure things are right with Solara is kind of priority one right now for him. And now that things are good, he doesn't really care about anything else. So we're going to go ahead and see what Andre's got up his sleeve. Right now, Zari's just like not worried about it, but we'll see if he has a reason to be in just a minute. So I know I said that we were going to fast forward to the Aerospace Museum, but Zari decided to invite Solara back to his place because he wanted to spend a little bit more one-on-one time with her. So he just decided to do that. So he's like, you know, Solara, I've been kind of wondering, do you want to woohoo with me? And Solara's like, what's woohoo? Because, you know, she's an alien. She's clueless about a lot of things. And he's like, oh, well, don't, you know, 6-Amians, don't they have a way that they connect with one another? You know, two people who really like each other? And she's like, oh, okay, I understand. But I feel like if you and I are going to do that, then I need for you to see me how I actually am. And he's like, well, what does that mean? And she's like, well, Zari, I mean, this is a disguise that I'm wearing for me to blend in with other humans, but I actually have like a real alien form. And I feel like you and I can't connect in that way unless you see me that way. And I guess I'm kind of a little bit nervous that you might not like me in that form. And he's like, Solara, just, you know, show me what you look like. I'm sure that there's nothing to worry about. So Solara decided to get up and she's like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and change out of this disguise, but, you know, just tell me if you don't like it, because I don't know, like, it's gonna make me feel weird if you pretend like you still like me and you don't. I'll understand. And Zara's like, Solara, just go ahead, show me what you look like. I'm sure it's fine. So Solara changed out of her disguise, and this is what she looks like. She's all like, I know it's weird looking compared to what you're used to when you see me, but like I said, if you don't like it, just tell me now so that we can just end things before either of us gets in too deep. And Zari's all like, Solara, what are you talking about? You look beautiful. Like, you probably look even more gorgeous than you do in your disguise. I don't understand the reason why you felt the need to hide this. She's like, well, I mean, I just didn't know how you would take it. And he's like, look, you are absolutely stunning. Where are you going, Zari? Stop it. Bruh. Nope. Get up. Get up. Go back to Solara, please. Solara, you're absolutely stunning. Like, you're beautiful. I don't know why you would think that I wouldn't find you attractive still. She's like, well, Zari, that really means a lot to me. So he's gonna go ahead and kiss her, and then he's gonna go ahead and say, you know, now that I know what you really look like, you know, do you want to connect? And so she's like, you know, Zari, now that you know what I really look like, then yeah, I think I am ready for us to connect. So I'm gonna go ahead and let them finish out that interaction, and then we're gonna go ahead and have him do the deed. So Zari, Andre, and little baby Nickel are at the Aerospace Museum, which this is actually really cute. I don't remember where I got it from, but they're going in and looking at stuff, and like Zari is already in awe. He's like, "Oh my gosh, Dad! Like this is brand new." He's like, "Yeah, you know, I was looking up stuff that we could do together as a family, and I saw that they just built this here. And look at him! He's all like, this is awesome." But like honestly, Andre is wanting to talk to Zari. As you can see, he has him in his thought bubble. He's all like, "Hey champ, like can we have a moment? I just need to say something to you real quick." And I kind of want Zari to not be in here, but if he is, you know, I guess we're just gonna have to put up with that. But let's go ahead and have a deep conversation with our son. Okay, so they decided to have this conversation inside this little area here, which is fine, I guess. We're just gonna have to zoom in so we could see. So he's like, "You know, Zari, I remember when you were a little kid, you used to always talk about how you were gonna be an astronaut, and everybody thought that was so silly." He's like, "Yeah, Dad, but now I actually am one, so who has the last laugh now?" He's like, "You're so funny, son." He's like, "Dad, what's this about?" Like, I know you didn't pull me in here to talk to me about me having childhood aspirations of being an astronaut. And he's like, "Well, that's true, I didn't." And he's like, "Look, son, when I agreed to move in here with you, I didn't realize right away that it was going to be in Strangerville." He's like, "Okay." And he's like, "Well, you know, to that end, the reason why I didn't realize it is because it's been a very long time since I've been here." And he's all like, "So you've been to Strangerville before, Dad?" He's like, "Well, yeah, back in my day when, you know, I was, you know, doing PR, I had a client out this way." He's like, "Okay, yeah, and then what happened? You know, where's this going?" He's like, "Well, I don't know how to say this, son, but, you know, after your mom and I split up and I got married to your stepmom, you know, Amaria, she and I had a rough patch, and during that time we temporarily were, you know, a little bit on a separation. We didn't get divorced, but I mean, we did spend some time apart, and unfortunately during that time there was a little bit of infidelity." And Zara's like, "What?" And he's like, "Why is everybody in this family always ending up in some weird infidelity situation? Was Granddad the only person who was faithful in our family?" He's so like taken back and appalled. He's like, "Look, it was a moment of weakness, son. Like, I didn't mean for it to happen, but it did. And it was just a one night thing, and it didn't mean anything. But the problem is that as a result of that situation, I kind of got somebody pregnant." And Zari's like, "Come again, Dad?" He's like, "Yeah. See, the PR thing I went out for and had that moment of infidelity, it was here in Strangerville. The person I got pregnant, she lives here in Strangerville." And so Zari's like, "Dad, what are you saying? Are you saying that you have another kid? Is that what you mean? She was pregnant. I mean, she had the baby, right?" And Andrew's like, "Well, yeah, son, she did have the baby. And, you know, surprise, you have a half-brother." And so Zari's like, "What?" So he's like, "So all this time, Dad, I thought I was an only child, you know, outside of step-siblings who I didn't really even consider real siblings, like Arlene. And then, you know, after Mom got married to Julian, Catalea and I became step-siblings. But, I mean, we're adult step-siblings. I don't really even see her as a step-sibling. But all this time, I had an actual blood sibling out here." And Andre's like, "Well, yeah. I mean, unfortunately, I didn't really spend a whole lot of time with the kid. I kind of just sent his mom money because it was a little bit messy. I kind of didn't ever really tell your stepmom that he existed, so I couldn't really have a relationship with him even if I wanted to." And so Zara's like, "Dad, this is awful. Like, it's bad enough that you were kind of absentee in my life, but you mean to tell me you made a whole other kid and you barely spent time with him? I mean, I'm trying really hard to not be upset with you, Dad, but at the same time, what do you expect for me to say?" And he's like, "Look, buddy, I'm telling you this because, you know, when we had that chat at GeekCon, I saw that as an opportunity for us to reforge our relationship and to be honest about everything. And honestly, champ, you know, it's also an opportunity for me to be better to the other child I have, the other son." And he's like, "So I have a brother?" And he's like, "Yeah, you do. You have a brother." He's like, "Dad, I just..." "What's his name?" He's trying his best not to be mad at him, because he's all like, at the end of the day, my dad doesn't have a whole lot of time left. I don't want to spend whatever time dad has left being mad at him, but he's making it really hard for me not to be. I mean, he wasn't there in my life, and then now he's telling me this whole time I had a half brother that he just never told me about. I just feel like he just really let me down a lot. Like, this is gonna be hard to get past, but at the end of the day, I have a sibling. You know, ever since Zari's mom passed, family's been meaning a whole lot to him. That's the whole reason why he agreed to, you know, or came up with the idea for his dad to move in. It's the reason that he wants to have Nickel full time. Like, he's been like really kind of trying to hold on to his family, because, you know, he grew up with just his mom, and then, you know, I think him losing Sienna made him feel like, I don't have any family to hold on to that's close by, and I really want that. I really need that. So he's like, look, dad's telling me I have a brother out there. I want to know this brother. I want him in my life. I need my family right now. So he's like, well, you know, his name is Reed Benson. He actually doesn't live that far away from where we live. He lives up on the hill, you know, not far from us. He's like, so this whole time, you know, my half brother's been just like up the street from us. And he's like, well, kind of. And he's like, wow, I could have just walked by him on the street, not even known that was my brother. And he's like, look, the reason I'm telling you this now is I kind of invited Reed to Springfest dinner. Is that okay? And he's like, well, of course, Dad, because I need to, like, I would like to know my brother. So right now he's texting Solara to let him know. He's like, hey, I just want to let you know there's going to be a couple more visitors at Springfest. I know I told you it was going to be my dad, you know, Arlene, my son, but also it turns out I have a brother now, and he's going to be there too. So he's just checking in with her to make sure he's okay, or she's okay with that. And like, Andre's just really glad to have this off of his chest. He's been kind of holding this in this whole time, and you know, he's like, I didn't really do that good by my kids in my life, and I don't know how that's going to impact me in the afterlife, but in whatever time I have left, I do want to spend time with my sons, and that's going to include actually getting to know, you know, his youngest son, Reed, because Reed is, you know, obviously younger than Zari. He wants to get to know Reed before he passes. He wants Zari to know Reed. And of course, Zari wants to get to know this long-lost brother that he never even knew he had. So we're going to end things here, you guys, because I thought we were going to have a whole lot more time for me to get through a lot of this stuff, and we were not. So we're going to do Springfest. Next episode, there's going to be a bunch more surprises during Springfest, so stay tuned for that. But let me know in your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. What did you guys think of this episode? Did you see the reveal about Solara being an alien coming? I would hope you probably did see that coming. I kind of didn't really do that great of a job of hiding that. But did you see the whole Andre reveal coming? Did you ever anticipate that Zari might have some long-lost brother that he had no idea about? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay dazzled. I will see you in the next one. Bye.